Go. Back at the farm, we are busy with chores. I'm in the previous owner's veggie patch and the soil here isn't that great. It's hard and compact and there aren't any insects doing their stuff. In fact, I couldn't locate any worms. The soil here is clay-based, so not great for growing veggies, and by the looks of things, the previous owners used to dump their ash from the fire, which is a good source of potassium, but too much and it can have a negative effect, as not all plants like it. Anyway, I bought some soil from home to help improve the quality. It is basic shop bought variety, not the expensive stuff, along with chicken and cow manure and topped with my castings from the worm farm. Each time we visit, I bring along 3 containers of the stuff to help boost the soil. There are still some plants growing, so it's not all doom and gloom, but hopefully the added mix will turn this patch into a good veggie patch. In this part of the farm, we're opting for raised garden beds, purely because it's quicker and I want to adopt the no-dig philosophy. We are not here full-time yet, but we don't want to wait until we move in, otherwise we'll miss out on the growing season. We start by laying down some plastic to kill off the grass, taking into consideration of the water tanks, casting a shade as the sun comes over from this direction. This is builder's plastic and we are covering it with rocks to stop it from blowing away, as it's a little bit windy here. It will stay like this for a month to allow the grass to die off before we lay down some cardboard. Each time we visit, we bring boxes and small pieces of furniture, and so whilst the house is pretty much empty, we thought we'd give it a makeover. So I've been busy painting all the woodwork before the real big furniture arrives. The white frames make the house a lot lighter, making it appear bigger and more roomier than it really is. Whilst I deal with the inside, Andy's been focused on the outside. The paddocks has a lot of hard, dried horse manure in it, so he's been driving around trying to break up the clumps to disperse it more evenly. We're using an old gate off the dog kennel to tow behind the gator, and it's working a treat. Meanwhile, I've moved on to painting the walls as a shade of green. A bit nicer than the poop brown colour, I think. As it stays light until quite late and the sun heat has lost its sting, Andy paints the deck. It was really sun damaged and it's desperately thirsty. The previous owners had left paint and stain in the container, so he was keen to put a coat on before we settled down for the evening. However, he quickly read the label and didn't pay attention to the colour. We soon discovered it was not the same as the deck's original colour. Too late to go back now. Luckily, we don't mind the colour and it covers well, and we have lots of it in a tin. These garden beds are from our old house, so we don't want to waste them. So we are going to buy some that are very similar. They are easy to build and work well for the cost. Today it's been a bit overcast. They keep threatening rain. But unfortunately we found out the other day when we were chatting to the neighbours that we don't get rain very often here because it avoids this actual area. It will go right around the outsides, but it doesn't land here, which is a bit of a pain because we need rain because we need to fill the tanks up. So I might have to limit my showers just to 1 a week. Hey, I'm British. We don't shower that often. Alright, I'm going to put you down. You can watch me work hard in the heat. I'm using a couple of building plumb lines to make sure the beds neatly line up, partly because of my OCD issues, and this will be part of our garden, so we'll see it all the time, so we want it to look good. Eventually we'll mulch around the beds and build a fence around the outside to keep the critters off. There are lots of rabbits and roos and longwood birds here, and we don't want to share all our produce. After all, our aim for this farm is to be self-sufficient. We're going to leave a gap between the beds so we can push the wheelbarrow through. I've jumped forward a bit. I don't want to bore you with me building and filling the beds. On the farm was a huge compost bin that the previous owner stored old straw, hay and horse manure. I've been turning it over periodically every time we come down for a visit. Most of the beds have been filled with the compost mixture off the farm, but we still need to buy some from the local landscaping shop. I must admit, it wasn't as good as the farm compost. It had lots of pieces of wood and clumps, which is not great, especially if we're trying to grow root veggies like carrots and parsnips. But once I build the compost pile back up again, I'll be able to add it to the boxes to improve the quality. Not only did I bring the soil from our old house, but I even bought some of our old plants. Can't accuse me of not being thrifty. We will see how they get on in this cooler climate. We have our son who's playing on the motorbike, on his old motorbike. And if you watch Project Reworked, you'll see the reincarnation of the motorbike. So he's having great fun playing over here for the weekend. Oh, fancy. And if you've noticed, the grass has grown a lot since we came. Because we've had a lot of rain, so the dam's really full too, which is good. So this is why we're keen to find out how deep it is, and so we can see how much water we have to play with. It doesn't take long to inflate the boat. Andy goes around first using the DeWalt leaf blower and pumps all the chambers, whilst I go around and fill the last little bit using the hand pump to correct pressure. Check on one of our previous episodes to get our honest opinion on this boat. Better still, subscribe and then you won't miss any of our videos. Unfortunately, we chose the wrong day to measure the dam as the boat kept blowing off course. Nothing like a good bit of line that's...
3 meters? Yeah, 2.4, 2.8, 2.7, yeah.
So I've got an app. We can walk around the edge and you can just press like log a point, log a point, log a point, and it'll work out the area.
Yeah, for what?
For the depth.
There must be a way of working out the inverse pyramid from the deepest depth with the circumference.
Yeah, but you need to know what the shallowest depth is first,
0.
and then you can work out.
And we tested it coming back, and it just gradually comes up. Yeah, it's not going to be 100% accurate.
No, okay. Yes, you can. There is a way, isn't there? It's how you work out what the depth of a swimming pool is. I did it in uni, but I can't remember how to do it.
And this hasn't. It's got
Pardon?
edges.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't make any difference because you can have two shallow ends and a deep end in the middle.
Anyway.
There isn't a mathematical equation that works it out. I know that.
It isn't, but there is.
No, there is.
Well, that's what we're going to use, but we're going to assume it's just an inverse pyramid. Okay, for those of you playing at home and want to know how we calculate the volume of the dam, we start by calculating the surface area.
by walking around the perimeter of the dam using a Google GPS area map. It logs the circumference and then automatically works out the surface area for you. It's great. Then we multiply that number by the depth of the dam. And then we multiply that by 0.4. Now we use that number to allow for the sloping edges, giving you the total volume of in cubic meters. To calculate that into liters, you then multiply that figure by 1,000. So now, which given an estimated volume of 1,752,000 litres. Now I say estimated, that's because when we tried measuring the depth of the centre of the dam, it was really windy and Andy and Callum kept being blown off course. So it could have actually been a lot deeper. And remember, this is the volume of the dam current water level and not the capacity of the dam. Now that is a whole other maths lesson for another day. Until next time. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe and share.